Hello everybody, we are here in Niš, Serbia at the Niš Fortress, and we're going to sorry, I'm excited here. We're going to watch a robot launch a weather balloon, which it does twice daily for international weather observations. So this is just something that I stumbled upon walking through the park yesterday, and I recognized it as a weather expert. And so let's watch. It may be a little bit before it launches it, but we can see it's getting ready with a flashing yellow light and a beeping noise. You see, this is on the site of a huge weather sensor complex. This particular device is from the company Meteomodem. I believe its model is Robot Sonde. You'll see there's a white cylinder on top of the green box, and that is where the balloon will come out. I believe the flat cover will roll off to the left and expose the top of that white cylinder, which will then birth a balloon up into the sky. And it will be trailing a little sensor package that transmits by radio back to this building, or to some building, where it sends temperature, humidity, and GPS location, possibly pressure. These types of autonomous stations are spread around the world, and they do replace real people who used to report for duty twice per day at noon Universal Coordinated Time and midnight Universal Coordinated Time worldwide. So when this balloon launches, it will join it will join several thousand balloons across the planet launching at the same time in just about every country on the planet. I believe there's 400 that launch, 200 or 400 that launch in the US alone in the next 45 minutes or so. So just a reminder, I'm Dan Bowen, a balloon science expert, consultant, and this is a weather station in Niš, Serbia, and we'll be watching a robotic autonomous balloon launcher. It must launch this balloon before the top of the next hour, and likely very soon, because the goal is for this to be halfway up the atmosphere at the top of the next hour, which is noon Universal Time. Feel free to drop a message in the chat, though I won't see it if you're on Facebook. I will happily respond after the fact. I don't have enough devices to monitor the Facebook stream. But if you hop on twitch.tv/balloonscidan, I'll get it if you type there. Or my YouTube channel, youtube.com/steamfire. Let me see if I can put a caption up. Let's hope my data plan holds up. I don't know what the data rate is on this. So we will be just waiting here for probably a few dozen minutes for any time now till the top of the hour, basically. You can hear kids' trolleys driving by. This is a huge national park, city park here. I'm doing this all on my phone, of course, which makes it fun. I'm glad I practiced a lot of phone streaming. This is going out to Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Feel free to drop a comment, say hello in Twitch and YouTube. Hey, here she goes. The top is opening. As you see, it's sliding off to the left. There it goes. You see the little package trailing behind. Off into the clear blue sky. In a westward wind, we see it drifting to the left. There goes the balloon. Trying to keep the sun glare out. Beautiful. Beautiful clear blue day. Thanks for joining me. In the meantime, we can take a look at what the weather equipment is here. By the way, our robot has closed its hatch and stopped its beeping and blinking and is going dormant for another 12 hours until the next launch. This is the first time I've seen an auto balloon launch. I'm pretty excited. Next to us is the field of weather instruments. Let's take a look. I'll give you a little tour of what I do know about these instruments. You can see here is a ladder up to a cup anemometer and a weather vane that measures the wind speed and the rotating thing, and the wind direction on the flat plate thing that spins around. And we'll see here, you can see several little houses up on legs. Those are actually little aspirated enclosures. They call them aspirated because there's forced air blown through them by fans. The fan you hear is not the fans in those enclosures. That's just the fan in the little electronics box, little white one on the ground. But the wooden ones with the little slats in the doors are very important to keep your temperature sensors inside, because you want to measure the air temperature and not the temperature of the thermometer heated by the sun directly. If you've ever had a thermometer at home outside located in a sunny spot, you'll know that the temperature reads much higher, like 10 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, plus 5 or 8 degrees C, higher than the actual air temperature. And that's not great for official air temperature data collection. So these shaded from the sun, but even a shaded box will sort of warm up because of the roof getting warm. So there's air blown up from the bottom by a fan and out through the sides, so that there's a lot of ambient air to cool the temperature sensors to the same temperature as the air itself. There's a lot of cool sensors here today. So we see there's a little gray bucket in the middle there, and that is very likely a rain capture gauge. We can actually walk along here, nothing's stopping us. And we see there in the middle this little T. It's probably another rain gauge or a fog meter, but like there might be a spotlight in the left-hand cup and cameras in the right-hand plastic covered tubes, which might shine a light straight up and then measure if it reflects back. And if it does reflect back, that means there's fog down here near the ground. This too might be a rain gauge bucket. Actually, that's very likely one. You can kind of see the bucket opening inside. Wow, they got all the coolest stuff here, guys. So here we see a little stack of fins, and that's the same purpose as those little wooden houses on stilts. It's just a more modern version. I can't remember the name. There's a special name for those little aspirated enclosures. But we see here a tiny little white cone on this white arm that sticks out to the left, and that is covered by a little clear dome as if it were a security camera upside down. Well, it's not a camera, but it is a light sensor. It actually measures the total brightness of the sky, and that is to calculate the total energy being received on the ground by the sun at any point in time. That's very important to weather, because weather is determined by the heat in the atmosphere and the heat coming up from the ground. So they want to be able to calculate the heat that came down to the ground and see if it matches their computer models, or actually to put into their computer models to predict what will happen up in the sky from heat being released. That's a little radio dish antenna, not really important on the left. The thing on the far pole, let's go see what it is. We can walk around this enclosure. I left my bag unattended, but it's in the shade. Probably be fine. And we've got a satellite tracker in it. Oh, lots of mystery items. Maybe some of our viewers can tell us what these things are. What the heck is that? Looks like a little crystal ball. Oh, wow. It's a manual solar angle sensor. You probably can't see on the film, on the video, but that little ring, those horns that go around the crystal ball there on the left and the right, on the back of those is a little black and white strip that has a ruler on it. And the ball has focused the sun into a little tiny dot. So you could actually peek in and see the angle of the sun. I'm not sure why you would want that on a pole, but maybe it's an antique instrument that has survived. I'm not sure what the little clothesline is there. This looks like a rain gauge in a bottle. And of course, we on the red and white pole, we have another set of anemometer cups and a wind direction sensor. And here we have the Meteomodem itself, where you see the user access door, another little temperature shield, aspirated, not aspirated, but shielded, and the big cylinder that releases the weather balloons. So, all right, folks, I'm going to sign off here, but thanks for joining me. This has been pretty fun. I'll talk to you later.